spoken word. So let's start off our speaking quadrag here. When he was in elementary school, a music teacher once told distinguished Toastmaster Carson Shaffer's mother that he would never play in Carnegie Hall, but he'd be a good, competent musician. Since then, he has been a 4-time National Gold Medal winner at the National Veterans Creative Film or Arts Festival, and twice the Country Music Association Entertainer of the Year for the state of Florida. Not as a star, but as a good, competent musician. Back from the dead like Lazarus himself. Please welcome DTM Carson Shaffer with his speech, The Sound of Almost Music.
Good job, man. Thanks, buddy. I was handed a violin when I was 7, and I eventually ended up playing first chair in the elementary school and middle school orchestras. In the 8th grade, it was becoming really unpopular to play a violin. It was not cool, and I was getting punched a lot in the hallways. Carrying that violin case, you walk by your friends, boom! So I was looking for a way out. And the high school marching band director came to the junior high school and said that the marching band was going to go on a 6-week tour of Europe and Switzerland, culminating in the International Marching Band Championships on the Lake Geneva shoreline. Like Deep Purple song, Smoke on the Water. I wanted to go on that trip. But violins don't play in the marching band. I had to pick a new instrument. And after violin, coolness was definitely a factor. So the coolest instrument in the marching band is the trumpet, right? But those guys, yeah, Jordan's over there. But those guys have to learn embouchure. And I didn't have enough time. Band camp started in August. So I could read music well enough. So I picked the easiest instrument that had buttons you could just press and the notes came out, but was still pretty cool, and started playing the saxophone. I took lessons all summer long, and I practiced for the first time and the only time in my life that I ever practiced every single day. The only way into the marching band was you had to challenge somebody. So I picked the weakest link, and I took their spot on the trip. Thanks to Facebook, 40 years later, I know she still hates my guts. But this year she wished me a happy birthday, so it can't be all that bad. Somewhere around the age of 16, I was going to a sax lesson, and I saw a guitar, an SG copy, in the window. And I thought, I want that. So I saved up, and I bought the guitar. Now, I never learned to read music for guitar because, it's not a serious instrument. Little did I know that was what I was going to be playing the rest of my life. So I never learned to read for guitar because, again, it's not a serious instrument. Now, I'm not really that good, honestly. I have friends who are that good. I've just done it long enough that I'm not the worst one, usually. You could say I have 1 year's experience 50 times over. Yeah. Recently, a good friend told me, she said, oh, you should listen to music while you study for your certifications. I said, are you nuts? No matter what goes on, if there's music playing, 20% of my brain is listening to that song. I'm the guy at a business lunch who goes, wow, I haven't heard this song in a long time. Everybody else goes, what? There's music playing? If I listen to music when I'm trying to study, I know the rhythm guitar part, I know the lead guitar part, I know the bass line, I know the drums, I know the keyboards, I know the lead vocals, I know both harmony parts. There's no way I cannot study. So she says, oh, listen to classical music. I play violin in the orchestra. Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, Vivaldi. I played all that stuff. The only place I found that I can truly study was the 5th floor of the UCF library, Silent Engineering Study, where you got out on the 4th floor so the elevator would ding for business silent study and took the stairs up. Pin drop silence. And no music. I could study. So a few weeks ago, I gave a speech called Too Many Pills. And every single time writing that speech or giving that speech, when I'd see those 3 words, the AC/DC song, Shoot to Thrill, would shoot the thrill, play the kill, with too many pills, would just start up in my head and over and over and over and over again. My electric razor, it's the first note of Misty Mountain Hop by Led Zeppelin. Thank you. My wife has a shampoo called Into the Night. It's a song by Benny Mardones. Every time I get in the shower, that song starts up. Music's the sound of your soul. It binds us, holds us together, makes us cry. I can't play Through the Years without crying. You know that. It reminds us of our humanity. We all have different tastes. I was jamming with the keyboard player in my band who saw an old set list and goes, "Cover the Rolling Stone, I hate that song." So, I got to start playing it, right? And halfway through, he joins in, and when we finish, he goes, "I love that song." But you're allowed to change your opinion on music. That's what's so great. I went to the Billy Joel concert a few months ago. Awful seat. I mean, literally the top row where the big lights bolt in, and freezing cold, and I was completely by myself, and Billy played his most popular song, Piano Man. You guys know Piano Man? And it's a song about loneliness, and I was treated to looking down at tens of thousands of people. The band stopped, and they all sang. Looking at all these people, the dichotomy of a most solitary song with John, the bartender, Davies in the Navy, Paul the author selling real estate, everyone sharing a drink called loneliness because it's better than drinking alone. You guys know the lyrics, right? Yes. Come on, sing it. So sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right. Mr. Toastmaster.
Good job.
Thank you.